Ron, what was that like, getting a lead, maintaining it, and being able to finish it off like that?
It was good. A lot of positive things in that first half. A lot of things that we can build on, and most certainly in the second half, a lot of things we can get better at. Hats off to the Texans. They didn't quit. They kept fighting to the very end, and they gave it a good shot. And we've got to understand that teams are going to continue to fight, so we just got to keep playing.
How important was it to stop the run early to be able to get that lead in that first half?
It was very important, just because they're a good running football team, and we know that. And if we could slow the run down, we could slow down their play action game. There's a couple things, like I said, that we have to take a look at and just got to get better at.
We talk about Jonathan Duran often, but to have those two guys do what they do game in, game out, what do you think that's done for your defense over this last stretch?
Oh, I think it's been great. I mean, I think we're the only group right now with two defensive tackles with 5+ sacks each. So that's a heck of a deal right now. Those guys are playing solid, sound football, and it's a big deal.
And just the defensive performance in the first half in particular, they had -5 net yards. Is that about as well as you've seen these guys play?
Yeah, they're flying around. They're doing a lot of good things, and I think that the biggest thing is they're playing with each other. They understand, working together, what it means. There's a couple things, as I said, though. There's going to be a lot of things we're going to have to work on and correct from that second half, though.
Ron, after Monday, you talked about guys needing to act like they've been there, I guess, and after the celebration and all that. What did you think of how they handled the week? And then today, I mean, do you feel like they responded the way you wanted them to?
Yes, they did, and hats off to them for because the biggest thing we wanted to make sure everyone understood that we're not where we want to be. We're heading in that direction. We got to continue to play and grow and develop, and that was kind of the theme all week was understanding just how much more we've got left to do before we can get to where we really want to be.
And then your favorite question on the quarterbacks: do you have the plan now with Taylor?
We're gonna go with Taylor, and we'll work Carson back in and see where Carson is in terms of if he's ready to be the backup, and then we'll go from there.
What were those conversations like?
They were very good.
With Carson in particular, obviously he didn't come here to be a backup, but was he generally
Right.
understanding?
He was very good. He really was.
What was it Taylor has shown you to lead you to this decision?
Winning. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. I mean, that's where we are right now.
If I could change topic for just a second, you wore the Virginia shirt. I know a lot of your guys did too. What did it mean to be able to pay tribute to?
It meant a lot to pay tribute to the University of Virginia. They're our neighbors. They're part of our community, and we're very sad for them. And we just wanted to at least give a shout out to let them know that we're thinking about them and they're in our thoughts and prayers.
Though so much focus has been on the quarterback, how much of kind of this winning streak that you guys are on, the 4-1 stretch, is kind of part of the defense being a lot better than it was?
Well, I think the defense has really come together, and that's a tribute to Jack and the defensive staff. It's a tribute to young players that are developing, growing, and it's a tribute to the player leadership that they have. Jonathan, Duran, Montez, Bobby, Kendall. Those guys have stepped up and have really been, the leaders that we've hoped that they could be for us, and it's been awesome. It really has. I think also we give credit to the offensive line and the running backs. I mean, those are groups of guys that are just very steady doing their jobs. I mean, we got the dynamic playmakers that are making plays when we need them, and they're doing their thing. There's some really cool stuff that's going on right now as this team's starting to grow.
And just circling back to Wentz and stuff, when did you tell him? Was it Friday? Was it?
I talked to him.
Oh, I guess just when.
I talked to him. Okay.
Okay. I guess I was just curious on if Heineke knew going in, what do you think his mindset is of, knowing he needs to play well to keep this, and how have you seen
play? We just need to play. We just need to continue to do things that we're doing. I'm not looking to pull anybody out. I'm not looking to yank anybody. What I'm looking to do is for us to continue to play well and do things the way we're supposed to. This is not a competition as far as controversy. Okay, that's the last thing that's on my mind. What this is, and that's why I talk about just doing it one game at a time, staying focused at one game at a time. And the most important thing, as far as the quarterback's concerned, is Taylor will start as we start to get ready to play Atlanta.
I know one thing you've mentioned with the quarterbacks is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen out of Taylor in that regard, and has that been like a mark of improvement for him year over year?
Well, I think it is a mark of improvement. I mean, there are some consistent things that he's doing. There's still every now and then he'll do something that you kind of hold your breath. He thought he had Terry on cutting across the middle of the zone going vertical, and he goes to throw it out there, and Terry and the safety actually collide, and so you hold your breath, and but that's Taylor every now and then.
And complementary football, I know it's something you guys have talked about quite a bit. Do you feel like that's starting to come together?
Well, I think it is, because if you look at time of possession, being a rush for over 100 yards, I mean, that's important, and when you're doing that, you're keeping your defense off the field. I mean, it's an important formula. I mean, we're fortunate because, again, as I said, the Texans are a heck of a running team, and we were able to to be up front, be physical, and slow that down, and that really helped us. And again, it's it's a tribute to our guys, that they understood what we needed to do.
And just having been around Taylor for a number of years now, are you ever surprised now on how kind of the team rallies around him, or how it?
No, I'm not, just because, again, as I say, there's that underdog mentality that people appreciate. And they appreciate the way he does things. And again, whether he is the backup or he's the starter, he's all in. And that's what makes him so viable. And that's why it was important for us to bring him here, and there was a time, it was the same thing was true for Kyle Allen. I mean, we had Kyle, and Kyle's the same kind of guy. Those are the kind of young men that you want on your team.
Sometimes, Ron, it seems like you are conservative in your praise when it comes to Taylor. I'm just wondering, why is that?
I don't think I am. I think I give credit to him and what he does. So
Every time you point out what you just said about holding your breath, but
well, I mean, I do. I'm just like everybody here. I'm a fan. I mean, I see what he does. He systematically leaves us down the field. We score points. We do the things that we need to. So I'm just telling you what I think.
Understanding that you weren't, you've seen more things you've done on the defense based on what they did in the second half. What point this season do you think this thing really started to turn around for you guys?
As far as the defense is concerned, I'd say there were some really good things that we did in the first Philadelphia game. I mean, we held them under 100 yards rushing. Now, we gave up 6 explosives that hurt us, but those are the kind of things that that you grow on based on that. I mean, we held a really good rushing team under 100 yards twice, and so that was big for our guys.
Ron, you guys also during this stretch of 5 out of 6, turnover margin really good.
Yes.
Penalties going down. Why have those things turned?
Well, I think first of all, if you look at us traditionally over the years, we've always been one of the fewer penalized teams in the league, and so that doesn't surprise me that's trending down. Turnover ratio, I think, has been a continued emphasis by our defensive staff, and they work on it and talk about it every day, daily. On Thursday, they do that, the turnover Thursday attitude, like a lot of other teams do, and I think that's been important. It's been a focus. So it's the things that you work on. I think it's the things that you improve on, and that's something they've most certainly been improving on.
All right, thanks, guys.
Go ahead.
Concerning the sport, did you consider putting Sam in at the end there or anything like that?
Very briefly, I did. And I really did. But we were managing. We were going to run the ball, and we weren't going to. We didn't want to expose. We didn't want to expose Taylor anymore to having to, possibly take another hit. So we just went ahead and just kept him in and just handed the ball off.